Hi everyone, in this video I will teach you how to create the quadratic equation given this time the imaginary roots, and we will be using a formula here. So let's go to the examples. Number one, what is the quadratic equation if the roots are positive, negative square root of negative 7? So we have an imaginary number here. First, let's find the sum. That's positive square root of negative 7 plus negative square root of negative 7, and obviously that will be equal to 0. And the product is square root of negative 7 times negative square root of negative 7. That gives us negative 7. So square root of negative 7 times square root of negative 7 is negative 7, and that is equal to positive 7. So this is 7. This is 0. That means we don't need that anymore. Therefore, the answer is x squared plus 7 equals 0. Let's go to the next example. Positive, negative 8i. Now, before we start here, let's remind ourselves about the value of I that is equal to the square root of negative 1. And one thing you need to remember also is I squared that is equal to negative 1. Okay? So if we add positive 8i and negative 8i, that will be equal to 0. So let's do the multiplication. So that's 8i times negative 8i. So 8 times 8, negative 8 times 8 is equal to negative 64. I times I is equal to I squared. Now we already established here that I squared equals negative 1. So negative 64 times negative 1, and that gives us positive 64, which means that the answer here is x squared plus 64 equals 0. Let's go to the third example. So we have negative 2 plus minus 5i square root of 3. Again, let's remind ourselves about I squared. That equals negative 1. Alright. So negative 2 plus 5i square root of 3 plus negative 2 minus 5i square root of 3. So we can cross that out. That will be equal to 0. So that's negative 4. So this is negative 4. And then let's multiply the 2. Negative 2 plus 5i square root of 3 multiplied by negative 2 minus 5i square root of 3. So negative 2 times negative 2 is equal to 4. 5 times negative 5 is equal to negative 25. I times I is equal to negative 1. I times I is I squared, and I squared equals negative 1. So I will replace that I squared by negative 1 automatically. 3 times 3, square root of 3 times square root of 3 is equal to 3. This gives us 4. There are two negative signs, so that will be plus 75, which is equal to 79. So this is 79. Therefore, the answer is x squared minus negative 4x plus 79 equals 0, which means this is equal to x squared plus 4x plus 79 equals 0. Alright, let's go to the last example. We have negative 5. Let's do the addition first. The sum of the roots. Negative 5 over 3 plus 2i over 3. Alright. Plus negative 5 over 3 minus 2i over 3. So here we can cross this out. Alright, that's so obvious. So the answer will be negative 10 over 3. So that's for this. Now let's do the product. Negative 5 over 3 plus 2i over 3 times negative 5 over 3 minus 2i over 3. So here, like what I mentioned earlier, we will just multiply the first terms and the last terms. And this is equal to 25 over 9. We're doing the multiplication. Negative 5 times negative 5 is 25. 3 times 3 is 9. Minus 2 times 2 is 4. I times I is I squared, which is equal to negative 1 over 9. So this is 25 plus 4 over 9, which is equal to 29 over 9. All right? Negative 1 times 4 is negative 4 times the negative sign here, so that's plus 4. Okay? So this is 29 over 9, which means that our answer should be x squared minus negative 10 over 3 x plus 29 over 9 equals 0. That will be equal to x squared plus 10x over 3 plus 29 over 9 equals 0. And of course, we don't like fraction. Let's make this simpler by multiplying each term by the um, greatest common factor of 3 and 9, which is 9. So let's multiply that each term by 9. 9 times x squared is 9x squared. 9 times 10 is 90 divided by 3 is equal to 30. Or 9 over 3 is 3 times 10 is 30. So that's 30x. So we can cross out the 9. That would be 29 equals 0. There you go. So that's how we create and find the quadratic equation if the given are imaginary roots.